A storm is brewing. North of the 49th parallel, a political earthquake threatens to shatter the map of North America as we know it. Alberta, the heartland of Canadian energy and conservatism, is on the verge of a dramatic split, a bold declaration of independence from the Federation it has called home for over a century. Fueled by decades of resentment, economic anxieties, and a yearning for self-determination, the province's separatist movement has emerged from the fringes to take center stage, sending shockwaves through the halls of power in Ottawa and beyond. This is not just a domestic Canadian issue. Alberta's fight for freedom is a direct challenge to the existing power dynamics of the continent, raising profound questions about the future of U.S.-Canada relations and the very soul of Canadian national identity. The world watches with bated breath. Will Alberta choose the path of separation, redrawing the lines of North America forever? Or can the deep wounds of division be healed, preserving the fragile unity of a nation at a crossroads? One thing is certain, the stakes have never been higher. To understand the current crisis, one must delve into the historical grievances that have festered for generations in the Canadian prairies. Alberta's identity has long been intertwined with its vast oil reserves, a source of both immense wealth and deep resentment. For decades, Albertans have chafed under what they perceive as unfair treatment by the federal government, which they accuse of exploiting their resources while neglecting their needs. The National Energy Program of the 1980s, which sought to regulate and control Alberta's oil industry, left a particularly bitter taste, solidifying the perception of Ottawa as an overreaching, meddling force seeking to stifle Alberta's economic potential. These historical grievances have created a deep wellspring of anger and alienation, a sense that Alberta's contributions to the nation are not valued or respected. This feeling of being ignored, overlooked, and taken advantage of has fueled the flames of separatism, providing fertile ground for the movement's current resurgence. The embers of discontent, smoldering for decades, were fanned into a raging fire by the unexpected intervention of a foreign power. During his presidency, Donald Trump, with his characteristic bombast and disregard for diplomatic norms, repeatedly stoked the flames of Alberta separatism. He openly questioned the legitimacy of Canada's sovereignty, suggesting that Alberta would be better off as part of the United States. These pronouncements, while widely condemned by the Canadian government, resonated with a segment of the Albertan population, particularly those who felt abandoned by their own leaders and drawn to Trump's populist message. While Trump's rhetoric may have been dismissed by many as mere bluster, it had a profound impact on the separatist movement in Alberta. His words provided a degree of legitimacy and international attention that the movement had never before enjoyed. He may be gone from the Oval Office, but his shadow still looms large over Alberta's future. Section 4. The election that broke the camel's back. 2025 and the rise of discontent. The recent federal election of 2025 proved to be a tipping point, pushing Alberta further down the path of separation. The re-election of the Liberal Party under Prime Minister Mark Carney, seen by many in Alberta as the architect of policies hostile to their interests, was the final straw. Carney's ambitious environmental agenda, while lauded by environmentalists, was perceived in Alberta as a direct attack on their oil-dependent economy. The election results, which saw the Liberals increase their majority while being virtually shut out in Alberta, laid bare the deep chasm that now separates the province from the rest of the country. The message was clear. Alberta's voice was not being heard in Ottawa. Their concerns were being ignored. The time for reconciliation had passed. The time for action had arrived. Section 5. A Premier Caught in the Crossfire. Danielle Smith's Balancing Act. Caught in the maelstrom of this political earthquake is Alberta's Premier, Danielle Smith. A controversial figure, Smith finds herself walking a tightrope, attempting to appease the growing chorus of separatist voices within her province, while maintaining a semblance of unity with the Canadian Federation. While not a separatist herself, she has acknowledged the legitimacy of Albertans' grievances and has taken concrete steps to address them. Her most significant move has been the introduction of legislation that would pave the way for a referendum on separation, should a citizen-led petition gather enough signatures. This calculated gamble is an attempt to channel the separatist sentiment into a more democratic and controlled process, but it carries immense risks. Section 6. Taking it to the streets and across the border. The pro-separation movement. The pro-separation movement, once relegated to the fringes of Albertan politics, has exploded into a powerful force. Rallies drawing thousands of passionate supporters have become commonplace, with calls for independence echoing through the streets of Edmonton and Calgary. But the movement's ambitions extend far beyond the borders of Canada. Recognizing the inherent difficulty of achieving independence alone, separatist leaders have actively courted support from the United States, urging Albertans to write to the White House and appeal for American backing. Section 7. A New North America, Alberta's Rebellion, and the Shifting Tides of Power. The potential consequences of Alberta's separatist movement are nothing short of seismic. Should the province succeed in seceding from Canada, the geopolitical landscape of North America would be irrevocably altered. A new nation, rich in resources and strategically located, would emerge, potentially upsetting the balance of power on the continent. The implications for the United States are particularly profound. The emergence of an independent Alberta, potentially aligned with American interests, would represent a major strategic victory, granting the U.S. unprecedented access to energy resources and a key ally in a region traditionally wary of American influence. However, it would also come at a cost. The destabilization of a long-standing ally and trading partner could have unforeseen consequences, potentially sparking regional instability and damaging relations with a newly independent and potentially resentful Quebec. The world holds its breath. The fate of Alberta, and perhaps even the future of North America, hangs in the balance. Will this be the beginning of a new era of cooperation and prosperity? Or will it usher in an age of uncertainty and division? Only time will tell.